Some executors don't communicate with the beneficiaries. This is especially true at the beginning of the process, the first week or two or three or four. This is the time when beneficiaries start getting nervous and asking things like, why doesn't the executor communicate with me? And the executors don't communicate with the beneficiaries during that time period because of a couple of reasons. Could be the executor is not experienced being an executor. For many people, it's the first time that they've ever been faced with being an executor, and they're just scrambling, not sure what to do, getting the papers together, and so on. And communicating with beneficiaries is not something that comes to their mind. Some executors are confused about the process. Some executors don't know what they're doing. Some are too busy, and some are arrogant and think that this is my job, this is what I'm doing, and I don't have to report to anybody. So this communication breakdown is something that is probably continuing from a previous relationship between the executor and the beneficiaries, and this is just, it's not a healthy way to maintain this fiduciary relationship, which is a professional relationship as well, you can say, because it is the job of the executor to administer the estate and to communicate with the beneficiaries. So as a beneficiary, the executor is not communicating. What do you do? The simplest thing to do is to start the communication from your end. So you can call the executor, or you can email the executor, even send them a letter and ask them what is happening with the estate, how are things going, have you filed the papers, when are we getting distributions, and so on. So the beneficiaries would be the first to initiate the communication. And at that point, if you see that the executor is avoiding communicating back and avoiding the beneficiaries and ignoring their communication, then that is a stage of the process where you probably have some cause for concern, because at that stage, maybe the executor is so incompetent that they haven't even done anything, or they don't know what to do anything, and they can't even get back to you. Or maybe it's something even worse. Maybe the executor is taking money from the estate, or stealing money, or taking money for themselves. So in that case, it's a good idea to contact an attorney. What an attorney would do is contact the executor or the executor's attorney if they have one, and ask them what's going on. And if they don't get, if your attorney doesn't get a satisfactory answer, then your attorney would file a proceeding in the court to compel the executor to communicate in writing and to account for what's in the estate. So if the executor is not communicating, in the beginning it could be okay, but it should very quickly become a situation where the executor either communicates or is made to communicate, because otherwise you can run into some issues with the estate. So the executor should communicate within the first, I'd say, 2 weeks or so. If they do not, you can communicate with them, and if they ignore you, then it's time to talk to a lawyer.